What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It's Renebean. Welcome to another video. So I get this question asked all the time. People will direct message me. They will leave it in comments on various videos. And a lot of people want to know, when it comes to eBay, should they list as an auction? Should they list as a buy it now? Should there be a best offer associated with that listing? Hopefully this video is going to explain the differences between the two and when you should use them. So sit back and relax. Let's learn something. So at the beginning of the video, you may have noticed how I said how to use all the listings, and you may be thinking to yourself, well, I thought I should only really use one or the other. I shouldn't use all three. Honestly, for me, and a lot of this is just coming from personal experiences over the years of selling on eBay and what's worked best with me, but I use all different three, and I'm going to tell you the differences between all of them. Now, I will say that there are many different types of sellers out there. There are a handful of them that only do buy it now, some that only do auctions, some that only do best offers, or a mix and match of whatever it may be. So with a buy it now, what that is think of a standard listing, $19.99, free shipping. You can add shipping on top of it, it doesn't matter. The difference is when the customer goes to actually purchase this item, he has no option to make an offer on it. It is not an auction. This listing can go on for 30 days. That's usually the preset whenever you list something, or you can change it up. You can have it till good till cancel to continue each month if it doesn't sell. The benefits of a buy it now is immediate payment. You're transferred right through as a customer, and you have to pay right then and there to have it shipped. There's no waiting. With auctions and with best offers, that's a different story. So what's the best thing to sell as a buy it now listing? For me personally, it's just popular items, something that you know is going to sell, something that's very in demand, and you know it's going to be flipped quickly. Someone's going to buy it. They're not going to question it. They know that's the price it goes for, and it usually does. But it's not always necessarily popular items or quick selling items. You could have a store that specializes in one specific thing. Like if I just sold video games and I had, 1,000+ video games in my store, or if I sold books, or if I sold strictly clothing. Now, me as a seller, as a lot of you know, I sell anything that I can turn a profit on. So you may have someone that sells just video games, or you may have someone that sells only books, or you may have someone that sells only clothes. It doesn't really matter. They have a large number of one specific item. That's exactly what their store is known, jewelry, whatever it may be. And you see a lot of these sellers, they'll offer combined shipping discounts that they charge for shipping. They have other discounts, buy 3 items, get $3 off, that sort of thing. For me personally, I never do that. I always combine shipping. It's just good business in my part to, give that savings back to the customer. It doesn't bother me at all to put everything in a box. If the shipping was less than what they paid, of course I'm going to give it back to them. In my eyes, that's just the way that I like to do things. Everybody's different. So now moving on to best offer, which is my favorite part of the totem pole. It's the main type of listing that I do. So the reason that I like to use a best offer listing is a handful of reasons. Number one is I like to haggle. Not necessarily to the point where I'm losing money, but I always like to give someone that option if I'm selling something to work it down a little bit. I go to yard sales, I go to flea markets, I do the same to people all the time. It's kind of fun to have it do it right back to me. Every now and then I get those karma points when I let someone get a good deal, which I try to do the best that I can. So I think the number one reason that I like to use a best offer when it comes to my listings is simply time. I don't want a listing sitting on my inventory shelves in here for months on end, when there could have been offers being sent my way. And a lot of people always say the same thing when it comes to listing best offers. They say, I don't want to be hit with lowball offers constantly. Well, you're in luck on that one. If you do not know, whenever you set a listing up, you can have it set to an auto decline to where, let's say you have that $19.99 item, you can have an auto decline at $15, $10, $8, doesn't matter. So anybody that sends an offer that does not, meet that requirement automatically gets declined. You don't even get the notification for it. My rule of thumb is if it's a popular item that I know is going to sell, something I've sold before at that price, I always do about 30% on the auto decline. I will decline any offer that's sent to me. That's 30% of the asking price that I have it set for. But if it's anything that I know has the potential to sit for quite some time, I will set that best offer auto decline to 50-60%, but I'll never lose money. I always remember what I pay for an item. I keep shipping in the back of my mind if I'm offering free shipping. That's something you always got to remember. You never want to lose money on eBay. You never want to sell something and make pennies. You want to be able to turn a profit and make it worth your time. And one thing I will say is don't be that dick who puts a listing at $19.99 and your best offer auto decline is set on $19.98. I know a handful of people to do that, and I think that is the most terrible thing you can do as a seller on eBay. It just goes completely against the whole idea of a best offer. People are doing that in hopes of getting the watchers or hoping to get a better standout when it comes to a listing. If you have two different listings, one that says free shipping, $19.99, and then you have one that says free shipping, $19.99, or best offer. The best offer looks better, and people will usually watch it, and it just draws a little bit more attention to it. That's why I see people kind of shitting themselves or other people whenever they put that best offer at a penny or whatever it may be. Well, one thing that may persuade you, if you are one of those people, to not do that, and this is a big myth, big rumor, circulating amongst the eBay community, it has been for quite some time, is the eBay's algorithm towards helping you out as a seller. And for years, people are always trying to find, tips and tricks on how to, increase their odds with the algorithm of eBay. And one thing that people have kind of come to an agreement on is eBay doesn't like it when you don't make a sale. So if you're constantly auto declining because you have it set at such a ridiculous amount, it doesn't look good on you. So if you have someone that's set at 30%, 40%, whatever it may be, looks better on them, I can still get hit with the auto declines, but definitely not as often. And then you have the people who set the auto decline at nothing. They probably get hit with many offers. And I will tell you this, the more offers that you accept, if you can, stomach through it, it's going to help you out in the long run. It just shows eBay that you are making the sales and your store is very active. But for me personally, like I said, 30%, 40%, and more, depending on the item, if it's going to sit for a while, it's perfectly okay with me. And like I said, that the whole eBay algorithm, take it with a grain of salt. It's not necessarily proven on how to increase your odds. It's just from the collective minds of the community coming together and saying, this seems like a trend, this seems like it's happening. Another good reason to have best offers is you're able to send messages with that offer. So a lot of times, like I say, I sell to a lot of subs. They'll send me a message within that offer to let me know that they're a sub, and I'm usually more inclined to accept it. Or you can hear the person for their reasoning for buying. You get a lot of sob stories. Hey, will you take this? Or sometimes you get those assholes and they'll be all like, take it or leave it. This is my price. Well, usually I just let that offer hang. I don't decline it. I just let it hang. That way, I keep good with the algorithm gods there. And another thing that's helped me out with best offers is when people see on my store that it's just nothing but best offers, they see that I am a reasonable person, someone that can be haggled with, can be talked to. I'll get messages multiple times that say, hey, if I bought this and this and this and this, will you give me a bundle deal? Absolutely. I'll save on shipping. I'll save on the actual listing. It works out great, and I usually end up making exactly what I wanted, if not more, from doing so. So it just kind of gives you credibility. It gives you a persona. If I see someone with nothing but buy it now as they have no best offers, I know in the back of my mind if I send them a message that says, hey, would you happen to take this for that? They probably won't, and they'll get annoyed with the message. So the biggest downside with best offer is simply having the item not being paid for, it just sitting because the person accepted the offer or you accepted the offer and they have yet to pay. It does happen, and the one thing that you can do to negate that is you can have a unpaid automatic assistant open up a case for you depending on what time you set it at, 2, 3, 5 days, whatever it may be. And that way, if they don't pay in a certain amount of time, an automatic non-payment case automatically opens up and the buyer is sent a message and then the case will be closed. You won't be paid for it, unfortunately, but it'll be relisted. You don't get charged for the fee. That is one of the biggest downsides to a best offer listing. So moving on to an auction. If you do not know what that is, it's whatever item you're selling. You can start it out at whatever price you want. It's smart to start it out at a lot lower of a price than what is the market value of that item, in my opinion. Simply for the fact that people actually feel like they got a chance on buying it versus, why am I going to bid $99 on something that literally costs $99? That's just my honest opinion. The auction can be 7 days, it can be, 3 days, it can be 1 day, it could be 10 days. And there is no buy it now, but there can be a best offer with an auction. So whenever you see best offer associated with an auction, I never really understand the best reasoning for that. Maybe if you just want to end the auction earlier, someone sends you an offer on something that you have listed, a lot that you have listed, and you're like, I don't want to wait another 5 days. This will go ahead and give me the money. This will get the ball rolling, and that way the cash is in my hand a lot quicker. But honestly, I feel you might lose out on some money. If someone is willing to send you an offer on something, the auction just started, there's a chance it might be a decent item or a decent lot, and it could potentially go more than what that auction or what that offer is sent. So my biggest advice when selling on auctions is always start that price at the least amount that you are willing to take for it. So like I said, if I'm selling this for $19.99, but I would take 15, I would take $12 for it. Start it at that $12 as long as you got your shipping covered and everything else. If it sells for more, you're still winning. If you started at the max price that you think you're going to get for it, you're not going to get any bidders on it. Most likely not. Unless it's someone new on eBay, doesn't really know how it works. It's a rarity when it does happen. And so keep that in mind. If you have something that you know you can sell, a popular in-demand item, by all means, I would not auction. Unless you just want to get it gone, you want to make that money quick. You have that potential of making exactly what it's worth, but you're most likely going to make, quite a bit percentage less than what it actually could go for. And another reason that I like to do auctions is it's for lots. Anything that I can't sell individually, I'll lot it up. If I have 10 or 15 not so great games, I will put them in a lot. I cover my shipping, throw it on an auction, and get it gone. That's another great thing to do. I use it with broken systems. I'll have a lot of clothes I can't sell individually, but hey, I got 9 or 10 different scrubs here, all the same size, but none of them are worth more than $2 or $3 a piece. Put them all in one specific listing and throw it as a lot on an auction. Auctions are risky. The problem with an auction is it can sell for less than what it can actually go for. For me, if I'm selling a video game that I've sold 100 times, I've always gotten, between 30 and 40 bucks for. If I put it on auction, there's a chance it can go for $22. There's a chance it can go for 15. There's a chance it can go for 60. You never know. An auction is a risk. It's a gamble, but it's never in your favor. It's always on the house, or in this case, the buyer, for them to get the better deal of it, just because auctions are the way that people get the best deals on eBay, because you can usually get something significantly less than the standard price it's going for. Another great reason to use an auction is time. Again, you want to sell something and you want to sell it quick. You want to set it at 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever it may be. You want that item gone. You have the potential of losing money on it, but most likely it's going to sell. Let's say you have something high-end that at some point will get $300 for. The downside is at some point it could be sitting on the shelf for quite some time. If you throw it on auction, let's say you put it on for $200, you're already getting a couple bids. That item's going to sell, and again, you may get less than what you wanted, and you potentially get exactly what you wanted. But the key thing is it will sell. And another downside with the auctions, much like best offers, is it doesn't require immediate payment. So it can, linger. The transaction can linger until that person decides to pay, if they're going to pay. And I have found with an auction, a lot of times they can back out. So hopefully this video has helped you somewhat. Like I said, I use buy it nows whenever I know I got a hot ticket item that's just going to go at that price regardless. But 99% of the time, I will have a best offer listing, knowing that I can take an offer depending on how long something's going to sit, and I don't ever have to worry about going back and re-editing that listing to make it a little bit cheaper to accommodate the market. And then you have auctions. If I have something that's going to sit for too damn long, I can auction it out and get it gone. Same with lots of individual items that I can't sell. I can lot them all together and auction them out. So hopefully this answers a lot of y'all's questions out there on why you should do this or what's the difference between this and that. And it gives you a better understanding of the different styles of listings. So with that said, everybody, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.